जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे राम। रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी श्री राधे। प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। गीता गुरु हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की। इस्कॉन 50 फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी भगवान की। श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की। श्री गौरनिताय भगवान की। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। दाई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guru. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 1, chapter number 3, entitled as Krishna is the source of all incarnations, and the text number 30. Ashtame meru divyam tu Nabirjata urukramaha Darshayan vartma dhirana Sarvashrama namaskritam Ashtame meru divyam tu Nabhirjata urukramaha Darshayan vartma dhirana Sarvashrama namaskritam Ashtame meru divyam tu Nabhirjata urukramaha Darshayan vartma dhirana Sarvashrama namaskritam
Astame meru divyam tu
Ashtame meru divyam tu
Nabirjata urukramaha
Nabhirjata urukramaha
Tasvayan padma kiranam
Darshayan vartma dhirana
Sarvasrama namaskritam
Sarvashrama namaskritam
Ashtame meru devyam tu
Ashtame meru divyam tu
Nabirjata urukramaha
Nabhirjata urukramaha
Darshayan vartma dhiranam
Darshayan vartma dhiranam
Sarvashrama namaskritam
Sarvashrama namaskritam Ashtame meru divyam tu Nabhirjata urukramaha Darshanam vartma dhiranam Sarvashrama namaskritam
Ashtame meru divyam tu
Ashtame meru divyam tu
Nabhirjata urukramaha
Nabhirjata urukramaha
Darshayan vartma dhiranam
Darshayan vartma dhiranam
Sarvashrama namaskritam
Sarvashrama namaskritam. Lalita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Astama meru devyam tu
Ashtame meru divyam tu
Nabhir jata urukramaha
Nabhirjata urukramaha
Darshayan matma dhuranam
Darshayan vartma dhiranam
Sarvashrama namaskritam.
Sarvashrama namaskritam.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Word to word translation. Ashtame, the eighth of incarnations. Meru Devyam tu, in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of Nabhe, King Nabhi, Jataha, took birth, Urukramaha, the all-powerful Lord, Darshayan, by showing, Vartma, the being, Hirana, of the perfect beings, Sarva, all, Ashrama, orders of life, Namaskritam, honored by. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki translation. The eighth incarnation was King Rishabh, son of King Nabhi and his wife Merudevi. In this incarnation, the Lord showed the path of perfection, which is followed by those who have fully controlled their senses and who are honored by all orders of life. Purport. The society of human being is naturally divided into eight by orders and statuses of life. The four divisions of occupation and four divisions of cultural advance. The intelligent class, the administrative class, the productive class, and the laborer class. All four divisions of occupation. And the student life, the householder's life, retired life, and renounced life. are the four statuses of cultural advancement towards the path of spiritual realization. Out of this, the renounced order of life or the order of sannyas is considered the highest of all, and a sannyasi is constitutionally the spiritual master for all the orders of and divisions. In the sannyas order also there are four stages of upliftment towards perfection. The stages are called Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajagacharya, and Paramahansa. The Paramahansa stage of life is the highest stage of perfection. In order of life is respected by all others. Maharaja Rishabha, the son of King Nabi and Meru Devi, was an incarnation of the Lord, and he instructed his son to follow the path of perfection by tapasya, which sanctifies one's existence and enables one to attain the stage of spiritual happiness, which is eternal and ever increasing. Every living being is searching after happiness, but no one knows where eternal and unlimited happiness is obtainable. Foolish men seek after material sense pleasure as a substitute for real happiness. But such foolish men forgets that temporary so-called happiness derived from the sense pleasures is also enjoyed by the dogs and the hogs. No animal, bird, or beast is bereft of this sense pleasure. In every species of life, including human form of life, such happiness is immensely obtainable. The human form of life, however, is not meant for such cheap happiness. The human life is meant for attaining the eternal and unlimited happiness by spiritual realization. The spiritual realization is obtained by tapasya or undergoing voluntarily the path of penance and abstinence from material pleasure. Those who have been trained for abstinence in material pleasure are called thira, or the men disturbed by senses, undisturbed by senses. Only these dhiras can accept the orders of sannyas, and they can gradually rise to the status of Paramahansa, which is adored by the members of society. King Rishabha propagated this mission, and at last stage he became completely aloof from the material bodily needs, which is the rare stage not to be imitated by the foolish men, but to be worshipped by all. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priyam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminite Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dekshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Goregaon West. And today is a verse about the eighth incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Rishabha. Mostly when we see the eighth incarnation of the Lord, so people go directly towards Krishna. So As per the Jayadeva Goswami's Dashavatara Stotra, Krishna never comes in any incarnation. The eighth incarnation is a Keshava Dhrita Haladhara Rupa. Lord Balramji is considered as eight. Okay. Because Krishna is the avatar. Ete Cham Sakala Pumsa, Krishna Astu Bhagavana Swayam. So Krishna is the original personality of God, right? And then others are called as the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of God. Now the issue is that as Krishna is Atmaram, but still he seeks pleasure from his devotees. That's why he's a Rasaraj. With each and every kind of a rasa, Krishna accepts pleasure. Krishna wants certain kind of a pleasure. Sometimes Dasya, sometimes Shanta, sometimes Sakhya, sometimes Vatsalya, sometimes Madhurya ras. So Krishna acts and reciprocates with the devotees in different types of rasa. Because he also seeks that pleasure and the devotees also seeks pleasure. So seeking pleasure is not an issue because it's our eternal position, Ananda Mayodhyasa. That is what Vedanta Sutra says. The definition of our nature, very basic nature for every living entity is that the living entity is a pleasure seeking. So from each and everything we try to have a pleasure. Even after coming to devotional service also we seek pleasure. Am I right? So that is on a Shuddha form. That is actually बहुत आवाज कर रहे हैं अंदर. So even living entities, it always seeks a pleasure. Even in coming to devotional service and seeking pleasure in devotional service, it's not wrong. Because if something we are doing with our natural constitutional position, it is not wrong. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada, in the last stage of purport, okay, he's explaining that sometimes people act so foolishly that they consider that this material pleasure is supposed to be everything actually, right? So they do everything just like foolish men seek after material sense pleasure as a substitute for real happiness. But such foolish men forget that temporary so called happiness derived from sense pleasures is also enjoyed by the cats and dogs and hogs. No animal, bird, or beast is bereft of sense pleasure, right? So, Srila Prabhupada is writing. See, material world by its definition, it's a ashashvat. It's a temporary. So none of the product of this material nature is actually going to be a permanent. It has to be a temporary, right? So how can you expect that the material pleasure or even any kind of happiness or distress which we are getting in this uh, material world is supposed to be a permanent one or the long lasting one? It cannot happen like it. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very wonderful shloka which says that the intelligent person utilizes his life or intelligence in worshipping the Supreme Lord. He is not bewildered by happiness or even distress. Just like in this world, happiness comes. Distress comes by its own, even though we don't want. Similarly, pleasure also comes by its own. We don't have to do much things after that. I unfortunately is not able to recollect even in a single line of that shloka. It's a very common shloka which I read every day, but unfortunately I forget. अगर कल याद आया तो I will tell tomorrow that shloka. On to grow. ऊपर ना एक वो छोटा अपना ऐसा टेबल है ना, उसके ऊपर भागवत रत्नमाला होगी वो नीचे है. Today I will tell you the secret. Whatever little bit shlokas I know, that is by the small book. So I recite from that book. So material pleasure that comes and that goes. Material distress also comes and it goes by its own. Whatever our karma is there according to that. But the foolishness, or sometimes it's a very less intelligent type of a person's mentality that we consider, nah, Baba, material pleasure is overall everything. No, all the pleasures in material world, if we categorize them, they are categorized into four things. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, and Maitri. Okay. Now tell me, Ahar is okay, right? So how much we can eat? Elephant can eat tons and tons and tons. Even that uh, Panaginda, what is it? Hippopotamus. That can even within one of his, when he opens his mouth, my God, the whole person can sit inside his mouth, that much big mouth. And just one watermelon and he crushes it like anything. Huh? We cannot do it. How much we can eat? Tell me. Even if we make very wonderful, nice misal pav, how much we can eat that misal pav? Even in the afternoon, if we eat 2 or 4 pavs, this is a book. So I will find out that verse. It will take a time for me. Krishna is so nice, merciful. तस्यैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतामुपर्यद तल्लभते दुःखवदन्यथा सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररभसा. That's why I require only one line, first line to recollect. Then the shloka gets collected. It's a 1.5.80. That's the shloka. And the translation of this shloka goes like, persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. Na labhyate yat brahmatam uparyatha. Upara adha. So you will not get anything in upar and even a downside also. For that purpose, we should always hanker. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be derived automatically in due course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. So this is a conversation between Narada Muni and Vyasadeva. That Vyasadeva got very nirash. He was so disappointed. Then Narada Muni comes to his ashram and he asked the reason why you are so much dissatisfied. Then Vyasadeva says, I'm not feeling very nice. Within first shloka only Narada Muni gives the solution. Because Vyasadeva doesn't require much things to, so gol gol घुमा के solution दो करके. Right? कांदा लहसुन क्यों नहीं खाना चाहिए. Then we tell people, नहीं 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 वो mode of passion से ऐसे फंगस में से सर. Simple answer है. शास्त्र ना बोलते हम नहीं खाते. For a straightforward person, intelligent person, we say, Shastra says, Acharya says, we don't eat, we don't. Right? No more, logics, no more explanations and all those. We trust our acharyas, we trust our shastras. If this says, that means it's a good thing for us. So that's why, ahara, how much we can eat? We can't eat much. Nidra, how many hours you can sleep? 6 hours, thoda kam. 8 hours. 10 hours, 12 hours. There was a one fellow in IIT. Oh my. He slept in the evening, or Suryasta period of Friday, and he got up Monday morning. This I heard from the IIT Bombay boys only. So how many hours he slept? See, actually Saturday and Sunday he slept for a whole 2 days. Actually. He wasted his life so much. Actually, by sleeping so much. Even the polar bear doesn't sleep. He only sleeps for 6 months, and then 6 months he's awake. Right? How much we can sleep? We cannot sleep much. Right? Then after that, defense. How much we can defend ourselves? Once the life comes to the the end period, it doesn't mean that you are 80 years or 60 years, or you can be 30 years and 20 years also. Yes. During that time, right? Just like my recently 1 week before, my brother-in-law, unfortunately, he left his body. Because my prayers is there with me. But he was just, I think, 45 to 48 year old person. He left. So he might have his own plan that I will be there for 40, I will be there more 40 years, I will be there till 80 or 70, like that. But we don't know when Kala will come, right? So definitely this defense, we can defend ourselves from the relatives, we can defend ourselves from the padosis and the neighbors, we can defend from anyone else also, but we cannot defend ourselves from the Kala and the Mrityu. Ultimately, we have to surrender in front of Mrityu, right? And what about the Maithuna? How much a person can have a Parastri and Pura Purusha Sambandha? And once a day, twice a day, thrice a day. That pigeon does it for 60 times a day. Can we imagine? We will die even if we try 1/4 of it in a day. We will die soon, right? So even the sense pleasure is very limited in this material world, and it's very temporary in this material world. Ahara, one gulab jam feels nice, two gulab jam feels nice, five gulab jam is okay, 10 gulab jam na 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 जी ऐसा sugar shoot out हो जाएगा, right? So material sense pleasure has its limitations, has its capacity. It is not eternal. But what about the spiritual pleasure? Srila Prabhupada mentions about the spiritual pleasure is that which sanctifies one existence and enables one to attain the stage of spiritual happiness, which is eternal and ever increasing. Just like in Damodar Leela, it's nice that every day I'm getting certain things to speak about Damodar Leela of the Lord. In Damodar Leela of the Lord, when Lord came, he was sleeping and Mother Yashoda was churning the butter. So as soon as he got up, when children gets up, they require two things in their life. One is their mother and another is food. I don't know what they do in the night time while sleeping. कौन सा ऐसा पहाड़ तोड़ के आते हैं, इनको तुरंत खाना चाहिए होता है इन बच्चों को. Right? So Krishna also came in front of Mother Yashoda and he just caught hold that tanda of Mathani, okay, and said, I want milk. And when Mother Yashoda took him on her lap and tried to feed Krishna the milk, Krishna is not bhuka for the milk. He's not hungry for the milk actually. But that milk actually is the form and it's a representation of Mother Yashoda's love for him. That's the Vatsalya Ras of Mother Yashoda. So as soon as Krishna started drinking that milk, he started feeling such a great happiness actually. And as Krishna was getting happy, Mother Yashoda's happiness started increasing. And as her happiness was increasing, more milk was coming out of her breast. As more milk is coming out of her breast, Krishna was drinking more and more milk. And because of drinking of that milk, his happiness started increasing. As soon as Krishna's happiness started increasing, Mother Yashoda's happiness started increasing. Her milk oozes out more and more. Then Krishna drinks it more and more. His happiness increases more and more. Then Yashoda Mata's happiness increases more. Then Yashoda Mata, then Krishna, then Yashoda Mata. And it was going on and on and on and on and on. And the milk which was on the chulha, he started feeling tension. बाबा ये तो मिल्क का ऐसा ही चलता रहेगा. मदर यशोदा की माता का जो मिल्क है वो तो एवर इंक्रीजिंग चलता रहेगा. कृष्ण will drink it ever in life. What is the use of my life then? It is better I will commit suicide. And he started, coming out of that pot actually. So that is what material happiness is. It's ever increasing. There is no kshaya. It's a akshaya. That is what material pleasure. And that's what our original hankering is. That material, that has spiritual happiness, eternal happiness is our original constitutional hankering. But problem is that in material world, we get much more attracted to the material happiness and we consider it is to be the ultimate. And that's why all this problem starts. But even in this material world, Krishna has provided us such a constitution, or institutional way to again come out of that material happiness and seek for the spiritual happiness. And this is what this Varnashrama system, the four divisions of occupation and four divisions of cultural advancement. See, Srila Prabhupada is, he would have just said the four orders of life, four divisions of life. Prabhupada is using such a wonderfully the words. First is four divisions of occupation. Srila Prabhupada very purposefully is using this word, occupation, because people has the concept about this varna, kind of a very horrible concept in their life, and it gives a lot of uh, increased misunderstanding about the Jativad and all. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is writing here. It's actually about the occupation. So any person can have any occupation. My father is engineer. That doesn't mean I should be engineer. But I became. Even my brother became. His wife also became. So our whole home is like a home of engineers. We can start our own institution of engineering, college of engineering. So many engineers are there in our family actually, and from each and every field: computer, IT, mechanical, civil, electronics. Everyone is there. So even if father is like a teacher, son can become a doctor. So occupation can be changed, but for that occupation, that person should have that kind of intelligence and that kind of a uh, capacity or qualification, right? That kind of a guna quality should be there. नहीं, मेरे पापा तो डॉक्टर है. He has such a big hospital of 8 floor. How I cannot become a doctor? Although I have 35%, still it's my birthright to become a doctor because my father is doctor. That cannot happen. You are a 35% wala person. Even if your father gives 10 lakhs and 20 lakhs of rupees per year, and even if they give you seat, your intelligence is not that much. Your father has done 8 floor hospital. तुम्हारे हाथ पे देंगे तो वो 8 रूम का भी नहीं बनेगा, हॉस्पिटल रहेगा करके, बिकॉज यू विल मेक पेशेंट डाई ऑन द स्ट्रेचर because you don't have that intelligence, right? So it doesn't mean that my father has certain kind of a varna or certain kind of an occupational division. That means the son is also going to have that. Hiranyakashipu was a completely Rakshasa person. Prahlad Maharaj is a Vaishnava, is a Mahajan, more than a Brahmana, right? And although Ravana's father was what? Vishwamuni? What is Ravana's father's name? Vishram or Vishram, something like that. He was a Brahman. But who calls Ravana as a Brahmana? Nobody. He's a Rakshasa. Definitely. So it doesn't mean which family you have taken birth. What is your qualification? What is your karma and guna? That depends. So Srila Prabhupada, that's why writing. It's a 4 divisions of occupation. And what is occupation? The teacher, the administration, the industrialists, and the workers. These are the 4. Even in 2025, you will see the same division.
Sure.
Vishram. Right. So there are certain people who are like teachers. They teach us, and their life, it's a very good, very much into goodness. सुबह फिक्स टाइम पे उनका स्कूल रहेगा, फिक्स टाइम पे उनको खाने के लिए लंच टाइम रहेगा, फिक्स टाइम पे वो घर पे आएंगे. Then after that, whenever children has a chutti, they will also have chutti. They don't have to apply for extra chutti. School का छुट्टी, उनका भी छुट्टी. Especially if it is a government school, then to सोने पे सुहाग. That is what? Teacher class. Then there is a administrative class. The politicians, right? The boss, managers, they're all administrative class. Then there is a industrialist class, right? Those who are in the industry producing something, or those who have the businesses, the people, they have their own shops and all this. These are like this productive class. And there is a worker class. Worker class means they have to do kind of a physical work in that industry. They have to do like an outside work, which is a much more into physical, not into mental. In Varnashram system, as you go up and up, your physical work becomes less and your mental works increases. So that's why Srila Prabhupada writing the first class of the occupation is actually intelligent class, and the last one is a labor class or a worker class. So it depends on Janma and Karma and Guna, right? And when one becomes a Vaishnava, he, if he becomes sincere, he is beyond all of this. And there is a 4 divisions of cultural advancement. So culturally also there is a hierarchy. So first is a celibate person. He is not culturally that much advanced. Okay, we call them as a brahmachari. But after that there is a grahastha. They are culturally more advanced. Okay, that means all of you are culturally very much advanced than. Shastra says this. I'm not saying this. And Shastra kabhi jhoot nahi bolta hai. So that's why I'm servant of all of you. Okay. Of course, I'm not willing to advance for the next stage. I'm happy with this stage of advancement in my life. And definitely the highest cultural advancement stage, I'm not qualified for that. So I'm very happy wherever Krishna has kept me right now. Hare Krishna. So the brahmacharis or the celibate people are considered the very first stage of this cultural advancement. That's actually the student life. When the person goes in the Guru's Gurukul. Guru Kule Basan, what is that verse? Guru Kule Basandanto, something. Brahmacharya Basandanto, Guru Kule Guru Gitam, something. Verse is there. I think it's Prahlad Maharaja's place. Okay. So that is student life. Then the Grahastha life is a family life. And most of the time in the material world, when we come. Now, these all things, na, Varna and Ashram, that is actually the material social statuses only. For one who is a transcendental, it doesn't matter for him which Varna and which Ashram is actually. Okay. So, household life is mostly, it is going to be the 99%. Why it is so? Because a grahastha has to take care of the 3 other ashramas. Actually, 4 ashramas is taken care by the grahastha. That's why grahastha ashram is glorified much. Because they have to take care of the brahmacharis, they have to take care of themselves, they have to take care of the vanaprasthas, and they have to take care of sannyasis also. Sannyasis in return, they give knowledge, and brahmacharis do a physical work. Okay, but grahastha has to take care of their other needs, especially their bodily needs and all that should be fulfilled by the grahasthas actually. So that is what the duty is.
Brahmachari,
Brahmachari, Gurukule, Vasantanto, Gururihitam. So brahmachari means one who stays in the Gurukul under the instructions of the spiritual master. And mostly the sannyasis are actually the spiritual master for the entire Varnas and entire Ashramas. That's why in our ISKCON also we have so much of awe and reverence towards the sannyasis, and they are considered as the head of our society. Actually. Okay. And the Rishabhdev actually showed what is the Paramahansa stage. Even the sannyasi also, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning there are the 4 stages. Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajaka, Charya, and Paramahansa. So when we offer our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, what we say? Jai Om Vishnupada, Paramahansa Parivrajaka, Ashtavatarshata Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. So we use Paramahansa and Parivrajaka. As per the consciousness, Prabhupada is the highest of all stages, which is Paramahansa stage, because he is not only person who is staying in the Vrindavan, rather he carried that Vrindavan in his heart and he established that Vrindavan in every nooks and corner of the world. That's why he is a Paramahansa. And because he was a preaching, that's why it's Parivrajaka. So Kutichaka means what? A person who goes outside his village and he makes a hut. He stays in that hut nearby his village. Okay. And in order his village people and family people take care of him. Okay, that is what a first stage of sannyasa, which is a kuti chaka. He lives in a kuti, in a jhopadi, in a hut. Okay. Then there is a bahudaka. Bahudaka means he doesn't go for the uh, kutiya. What he does, he actually asks for the bhiksha in different homes. He goes outside his village. He draws a line on the border of his village and say, after this day, I will not cross this particular line. He never goes to his village, but he asks like a, you know, take a patra and goes to each and every house and asks for the bhiksha. Kutichaka doesn't ask for bhiksha; he's been provided. Bahudaka asks for bhiksha. Parivrajakacharia. This person doesn't care for that also. He just goes village to village. He goes state to state, country to country, and try to preach the gospel of the Lord. That word is not good to use. Gospel. He preaches the shiksha, the lessons and the instructions and the leelas of the Lord to the entire humanity. That is what Parivrajakacharia. He's a preacher. And a Paramahansa means he's beyond all the bodily needs. All our Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, all they were the Paramahansa Babajis. They used to stay in Vrindavan. In due course of way, people, if they give something, they will eat it, they will accept it. Otherwise, they are very happy with the Leelas and the Harinam of the Lord. So, Srila Prabhupada and all our Acharyas, we consider them to be Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya because their preaching and simultaneously their consciousness is totally occupied by Krishna thoughts. So,
Paramahansa stage, right?
all of them, like actually they are beyond all these stages. They are the Nitya Parshad of the Lord, definitely. So we consider them as Paramahansa devotees of the Lord. So here we will take a small pause and we will tomorrow. Although the shloka was there about Rishabhadev. So Rishabhadev, I will tell only one or two lines. Rishabhadev, he became so much beyond this bodily concept. Of course, he's the Lord's incarnation, so it's beyond bodily concept. So at the later stage of his life, he was even rejected wearing clothes. That was, and he used to, travel all over Bharat Bhumi. Many times people used to, harass him, but he was on totally into transcendental level. It is said that when I first heard this, it was a little bit like this for me. But afterward, I understood it. It is said that Rishabhadev, he used to do a lot of tapasyas actually, lot of tapasya. He showed the way of tapasya only to the people. So he used to travel like totally without vastra. And it is said that whenever, of course, Lord doesn't pass stool, but it is said that even though he used to pass a stool, the fragrance used to come out of that, and he used to travel like miles and miles tak, or distance tak, that fragrance jata tha. Right? So there are certain people that try to imitate Lord Rishabhadev. But Srila Prabhupada in one of the lectures says, if your stool is having a fragrance, then only you imitate Rishabhadev. If your stool is smelling bad, rather you should accept the teachings of Rishabhadev and not to imitate Rishabhadev. You can't be the Rishabhadev. And most of these people are little bit into, philosophically into Mayavad. They consider them to be the, if they do lot of tapasya, and when person becomes totally sense control, they consider I have become a very like equal to the Lord. So that is what some people understand.
Jainism.
I don't take names. I just give the concept. I have to first cancel the online, then I will speak. Okay, Hare Krishna. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada.